evening. Most of you might be here for the property at 118th Street. Is that a true statement? Many of you are. There are pink and green sheets up here. It's a public hearing, and I just want to go through this ahead of time because this will save us a little time later before we start the meeting. When that item comes up, Gina on the end will go through what the process is and what's being requested and all of those kinds of things. She's been in her position for about 2 months, and she's working diligently, and I think she's a rock star, but just be patient with that, okay? Those slips you can speak for or against, or you can ask a question by checking for informational purposes only, or you can register for the action or against the action, okay? If you're a neighbor and you're here, this is your opportunity on the record to be for something or against something, or to better understand it, okay? So it's important that you register your opinion. Your opinion in great part, is often what the Common Council relies on when they make a decision, okay? Sometimes not, and sometimes they bicker, right, Kay? Right? But maybe they won't, I don't know, sorry. All right, so with that, we're at 7:07. This is the Common Council meeting to be held on Tuesday, May 21st, 2024 at 7 p.m. The meeting is called to order. Would you please call the roll?
Alderperson Juzwicki.
Present.
Alderperson Kastner.
Present.
Alderperson Akers is excused. Alderperson Sarian.
Present.
Alderperson Bailey.
Present.
Okay, item B is opening prayer. We have Chaplain Pastor Steve Rogers here this evening, our police chaplain.
Thank you all for the privilege of standing before you and for all you citizens here tonight. Let's just open up with prayer. Thank you, Father, for your goodness, for your hand in our lives, for this beautiful day that we live in. Thank you for the privilege of living in America and then in the great state of Wisconsin and right here in the city of Greenfield. I pray your blessing over our city and your counsel and your wisdom to lead all of our city leaders. Thank you for them. And I pray that you'd protect them and our city and our police officers, our firefighters, and all of our proceedings tonight, God, that your blessing and your hand of favor would be over all of our city. In Jesus' name we pray. Thank you, Lord. Amen.
All right. Item C is the Pledge of Allegiance. Would you all please stand and join me as we recite the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Item D, entertain a motion to approve the May 7th, 2024 Common Council minutes.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Alderperson Bailey. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderperson Kastner. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Item E, under Mayor's report. This evening we have Wendy Younger from Baker Tilly, who's going to go through our audit, right? So,
Well, good evening, everyone. You should have in your spot, better? In your location, a one-page handout, which is the document that I will use to go through the two other documents. You should have received both the financial statements and the reporting and insights document. We're going to start by talking about the auditor's report. Included in your audited statements is our independent auditor's report, the only portion of that document that is ours as your auditor. We have issued a clean, unmodified opinion on the city's financial statements. That clean, unmodified opinion is the highest level of assurance that you can obtain from us as your auditors, and that opinion means that the financial information contained within the audited statements is believed to be materially accurate. All disclosures that are required to be included under the standards have been included, and generally accepted accounting principles have been adhered to. Before I get into some very high-level financial information, I do just want to quickly mention the reporting and insights document that you do have in hand. That is the one with the solid green cover. That document we use for a couple different purposes. We use that to communicate comments and recommendations that may come up as part of the audit process. We are also required under our standards to have some normal and customary communication with those charged with governance. Very happy to say that included within that document there are no internal control type issues noted, no significant deficiencies or material weaknesses. The city does a very good job related to the internal controls structure, so you have good controls over your payroll processes, your accounts payable process, your tax process, and if there were any issues, we would be required to communicate those. But again, very happy to say there is nothing included in there related to that. Also, management prepares the audited statements. We had no material journal entries as part of the audit process. So again, a very good audit this past year. Just a couple items I will mention that are included in there. There are 2 new governmental accounting standards, or GASBs. Those are the standards under which governmental entities operate and must follow. There's 2 that will be new for 2024, GASB 100 and 101. We will work with management to make sure that the city is in compliance with those. 100 shouldn't affect you, 101 may. But again, we'll work with them. As I also noted, included in their required communications, nothing I need to draw to your attention, but I would highlight in that section of the report, which is in the middle, there is reference to the various estimates that are included within the city's financial statements, and those are significant. Related to your OPEB, your pension, depreciation, so I just draw your attention to those. Moving then into the very high-level financial information, included on the one-page handout, I have included page references, so at your convenience, you can feel free to view this information in more detail. The first item is noted as the management discussion and analysis. As I mentioned during Finance Committee meetings, this is a very good Cliff Note version of what happened at the city during the year. It's drafted by management. It does comparisons between 23 and 22, so explains fluctuations and that type of activity. So I encourage you to take a read through that. There's also statements included within your financial report that are on a full accrual basis of accounting, which is not the way you manage your organization. You follow a modified accrual. So we do highlight those government-wide financial statements here, but again, not the way you operate your organization. So I will start with your general fund, point number 3 on your highlights. Your general fund had a very good year. When we look at operations, actual operations compared to budget, you budgeted to use roughly $700,000 of fund balance. You actually added over $700,000 to fund balance, so had a positive swing of $1.4 million. Revenues came in significantly over budget by $1.2 million. Really 3 contributing factors to that. One is in the area of public charges for services. Your ambulance revenue came in $500,000 more than what you had anticipated at the time of budgeting. Very good year for the market. So investment income was off the charts. You were over budget by $468,000. And then you had some additional intergovernmental charges where you charge other departments within the general fund for staff and accounting services, and that came in $231,000 over budget. On the expense side, came in under budget by $500,000. So again, very positive within that category. The main contributing factor there was in your health and human services. Your salaries and benefits were under budget by $410,000 just due to the change in staffing. So overall, as I mentioned, you added $790,000 to fund balance, ended the year at $10.2 million of fund balance. Again, a very strong financial position within your general fund. Just a couple other items to note. I do note on the next line the operational status of your sanitary sewer and your refuse and recycling funds. Those are business type entities, so they operate a little bit more like a business. Your refuse and recycling had a decrease in that position of roughly $35,000. Income was up, but also your expenses were up. Income was up about $100,000. Expenses were $140,000 higher. Therefore, the net change of the 35. Sanitary sewer increased net position by $825,000. Again, a good chunk of that is in the area of investment income that gets allocated to that fund. That was up $740,000 over the previous year. The next item that I've highlighted here is the long-term obligations. There's extensive footnotes related to the activity of your borrowing. I will just note that included within the footnotes, you'll note there's $127 million of long-term obligations. That compares to $121 million at the end of 22. You did borrow 3.775 million during the year for various projects, but you did pay down 5.8 million. So paid down more than you borrowed. The contributing factor to that increase in the long-term obligations is the swing in your participation in WRS. It was an asset last year. It is, at the end of '23, it is a $7.8 million liability. As I always mention, keep in mind that fluctuates with market, and the data that's included in your financial statements is based on 12/31/22 study. So the market was not very good then, so hence the reason for the swing in the liability. As I always note, not something you owe or something you have to pay, but it is the position of the plan as of a snapshot in time. The last item that I would note under long-term debt, you have the ability to borrow an additional $128 million. We always talk about your borrowing capacity. You can borrow up to 5% of your equalized value, which equates to roughly $218 million. You have $90 million of debt outstanding, so the net difference is your capacity to borrow. The only other item I would note, there is pages within your footnotes that highlight the various fund balance components and what are in each of the funds. Again, overall, a very positive year from a financial standpoint for the city. I have in that last comment included my direct line, my email address. Happy to talk with any of you in more detail regarding either the audited statements or the presentation, or I'd be happy to answer any questions you might currently have.
I guess I have a question. So it sounds really great. We got all this, we're under budget, we got more interest income, we managed the city really well. So why did everybody's taxes go up? Right? So I just want to explain that a little bit. So every year the expenditures in the city rise, just health insurance and salaries, rise between $700,000 and $800,000. We can raise the amount of taxes in the city. Last year, we could raise the amount of taxes in the city by $111,000 over everybody. Okay? Which creates a $600,000 to $700,000 to $800,000 shortfall perpetually every year. Last year, we had a reassessment of the city, and your houses that were normally 200,000 were now 300, and yours that were 300 are now 450, and yours that were 400 are now something up, right? Everybody. There isn't a house in the city, well, I shouldn't say that, this is a generalization. There isn't a house in the city right now that's selling for less than $200,000 anywhere. Most of them are probably around $250,000 at the minimum, or $300,000 at the minimum. In fact, there are very few houses for sale in the city. Housing prices continue to be in some sort of bubble, which I thought we were in a bubble 10 years ago during COVID when everybody was sitting at home and interest rates were low and everybody's jacking up the prices of houses. Then after COVID, interest rates went up and then everybody kind of thought that, you know, well, this is going to bring the prices back down, but it didn't. People just kept buying because they wanted to get in as quick as they could because it was better than renting, right? So what that has done is that's made all of the single-family homes increase in value dramatically, over 60%, I think, on average, right? But the other things that are in the city, like office buildings and retail space and those kinds of things, have not increased by that volume. So the question I always get is, what are you going to do with all the extra money that I'm sending you, right? Because my house is way up here. The reality is, if everybody went up the same, offices and businesses and houses, if they all went up 60%, your taxes would not have changed at all as single-family homeowners. Because this went down, this went up as a percentage of what's paying the total levy within the city. So while it's encouraging and we've been actively managing and we run a very conservative, service-centric city, we try really, really hard to do things the right way. It's incredibly challenging. So I know there are a lot of homeowners out there this evening that could care less about all of this stuff that I'm doing with my hands because it's BS that I'm paying more in taxes, right? But the reality is that the taxes that we're receiving every year are not enough to cover our increased expenses. So while high interest rates are bad for some things, high interest rates at 4 or 5 or 6%, depending on what we conservatively can invest at, that interest income is actually footing the bill for the lack of taxes that we can raise every year to cover the costs of providing the services that we do. Is that a fair statement?
Yes, correct.
So, probably haven't convinced anybody why my taxes are so high, but that's essentially the reason. Okay. Does anybody have any questions?
I'd be willing to make a motion to approve and accept the financial statements from the auditor, Baker Tilly.
Motion by Alderperson Kastner, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderperson Sharing. Could you call on that?
Alderperson Juzwicki,
Aye.
Alderperson Kastner,
Aye.
Alderperson Sarian,
Aye.
Alderperson Bailey.
Aye.
Also under mayor's report, and I guess this is an announcement too, but Dan Jansen Fest recently donated significant dollars to the city for a Veterans Memorial at Bicentennial Park, which is immediately in front of the public library. The groundbreaking for that is this Friday before Dan Jansen Fest starts. I want to thank Dan Jansen Fest. I want to thank our Department of Public Works employees for actually designing and installing it, saving taxpayers significant dollars, or saving Dan Jansen Fest significant dollars. That it's something that the city should have had long ago, and I'm very proud to be there this Friday, and I hope that
I would
you're there.
describe it more of a grand opening ceremony than
It's a grand opening ribbon cutting ceremony. Yeah,
it's complete to some degree.
It's complete to some degree. Dan Jansen Fest also starts this weekend. For some that live adjacent to Dan Jansen Fest, it can be a bit challenging and noisy, but the significant contributions, the profits, and the income from the festival help make the city a better place. Whether it's buying canine dogs for our police department, whether it's installing the fountain in front of the library, whether it was contributing to the farmers market to make that possible. There's a number of other things that they've done in the city. And I encourage you all to go and drink responsibly. And if you can get a ride home, that would be great. And then you can drink more, which will help the city in the long run. I'm not encouraging anybody to drink more. I'm sorry. Wanted to give an update about the Turf Skateboard Park, which is on the northeast corner of 894 in Loomis. It's considered the Lambeau Field of skateboard parks. It's iconic. Tony Hawk was recently in town, stopped by. He'd skated it a long time ago. The weather has put has tampered down the ability to create the park. The company that was contracted to create it is in town and is waiting for dry ground so that they can get going with it. But it's going to be a wonderful addition to the community. I wanted to point out to everybody that's going, why are you spending so much money in a skateboard park? So every time we build an apartment, we get these things called developer park fees and those kinds of things, right? And we get revenue from a billboard on the site that we got from the DOT. Those dollars are the primary source of funding for that park. It's expected that it will be one of the most heavily used, nicest skateboard parks in southeast Wisconsin, if not the Midwest. There's a concert on June 15th, a benefit concert. It's like an all-day skate, BMX, a little bit edgier concert at Conkle Park. I'd encourage you all to attend. The revenue and the income that we receive from that will go to further enhancing the skateboard park. And if you know anybody that has $1.5 million laying around, there's a second phase of the skateboard park that we'd really like to get underway next year. But I'm guessing none of you have that. I don't. I wish I did. But I'm going to play. Anybody go to Meyer to get the Powerball or the Super Cash the other day? Somebody at the Meyer in Greenfield won $350,000 on Super Cash. I just read that. Okay, so that being said, that's all I got to say. Anything under Aldermanic reports?
I just want to mention that our Arbor Day was held last Saturday. It was a success. It was held at Conkle Park South. Alderman Brzezicki and I were present, and
We just want to note that we're striving to replant a lot of trees in Conkle Park because of the restoration project, and over 1,000 trees have been planted last year.
It was the first Arbor Day that I missed in 19 years. I was on vacation in Florida.
And I read your.
It was my first vacation, and
It was an excellent proclamation.
I wrote a nice,
read
thank
it.
you very much. All right, very good. Anything else from anybody else? Citizen commentary, we have Richard Bart from 8700 West Forest Home. If you go up to the microphone.
Thank you very much. My name is Richard Bartz. That's B as in boy, A-R-T-Z. I live at 8700 West Forest Home Avenue. I'm here to talk in regards to the piece of property that is directly behind KinderCare on Forest Home Avenue. It's currently zoned PUD R5, and I'm here to ask the entire council to consider that to be a single-family resident. The entire subdivision of 50 homes are all single-family. There is only but a half a dozen or so that are even two-story. Most of them are ranches. So right now, it's zoned so that you could have possibly 3 rentals on that one piece of property. Now, it is zoned that it's supposed to be a ranch, but 3-family in there is, as the subdivision considers, inappropriate. So when this piece of business comes up, I strongly ask you to consider it to be single-family residential. On that piece of property also, just a note, I have gone to, let's see, I think I spoke to Gina in regards to how to control the grass and things on there too, because it's a vacant lot, and I haven't gotten a response from anyone. It's 2 feet tall, and it's supposed to be taken care of. There's trees that are down on that property, and it just needs to be taken care of. So I don't really know who owns the piece of real estate right now, but whoever it is, they're not taking care of it. So I'd like that to be considered also. The next piece of business I have is in regards to the traffic that is inside the subdivision that's bordered by 87th Street, Forest Home, Woodlawn, and Dozy. That subdivision has 50 homes in it, and that is adjacent to KinderCare. Now, when we purchase the property, we understand that we are on the edge of the business district. So we know that we will have a little more traffic than other subdivisions. However, when KinderCare was there, it was noted that there's not supposed to be any constituents turning into the subdivision and only going out onto Forest Home Avenue. For the most part, they do that, but there are probably 10% that don't do that. I personally have gone to KinderCare and spoken to them, and they are very polite. They've been good neighbors. I've lived there for 34 years, and they've been there all that time. They've been good neighbors, and they do let their constituents know what is supposed to be expected of them. But the constituents, in many cases, don't care. I have literally stopped people in the street and talked to them so that it would be clear to them what the signs meant in case they didn't know. And of course, they didn't care for that, and they would yell at me and swear at me and just carry on with their own business. I contacted the police department, and they came out and told me, next time you see it, you call us and we'll come out. And I politely said, well, I don't think the people that are breaking the law are going to wait for you to show up. So that's not going to work. So what I did is I videotaped it, and I took that to the police department. They disregarded it. I've spoken to my alderman about it at great length, and he understands it. But as of today, we still don't have any correction. Today, within a 15-minute span, and I videotaped some of it, at least 3 people were breaking the law over there, and it doesn't sound like a great deal. except our subdivision is now in transition, and we're getting a lot of small children. And with 84 South Apartments, we get a lot of dog walkers and people with strollers and wagons walking through the subdivision. Now, I personally, in the past a year or so, have literally had to jump into the ditch so that I wouldn't get hit by a car. I've pulled my dog off the street so she wouldn't get hit by a car. They speed through the subdivision, they cut through the subdivision, and I'm perplexed because people that go to KinderCare are taking care of their children, and then they disregard mankind that's in the subdivision. So I'm really upset about that. And I'm upset that we have not figured out how to correct the situation. They're coming down the frontage road, which is really, the width of it is like a glorified alley. There's only 7 families on that frontage road. And yet people from KinderCare speed down that so that they can cut through instead of going out on a Forest Home Avenue. They turn illegally into the subdivision. They're speeding down Woodlawn. I don't have a radar, but I can tell you it's close to 50 miles an hour. It doesn't give me a lot of time for reflexes to get out of their way. Something needs to be done, and it needs to be done quickly. We went through all this some time ago with the intersection on 92nd and Forest Home, where we said it needed a light because there were so many accidents, but it took the development of 84 South to finally get something to be done over there. And we've talked about that for many years before that took place. So I'm here to ask you to consider doing something about the traffic that goes through that subdivision before something really bad happens. And it would be unfortunate. I've come up with some ideas where we can have more signs that indicate they're supposed to, let me rephrase that. They have a sign there right now that says that there's no right turn into the subdivision. But it doesn't tell them exactly what to do. So it should say that they are to exit onto Forest Home Avenue only, and then have some type of code that shows if they aren't in compliance, what they're violating. Same thing with the frontage road. We've had temporary signs on the frontage road where it said no through street. And that worked for a little while, but those were the sandwich board type signs that the Department of Greenfield sets up for a period of time, and then they're taken down. That might have helped a little bit, but not much. The only thing that I can tell you right now is, and it's a sad state of affairs, the only thing that people regard is how much money is taken out of their pocket. So if the people are caught and fined, that might change something. The only other solution I have is for KinderCare, their driveway that is on 87th Street to be an exit only, and then that would exit out on the Forest Home Avenue. And the entrance would only be on Forest Home. If that occurred, then that would curtail people coming down the frontage road to try to sneak into KinderCare illegally. The other thing that happens is people understand the letter of the law. So what they do is they won't exit out onto 87th Street. They will exit onto Forest Home Avenue, then turn right into the subdivision, negating the sign that says don't turn in the subdivision. So to the letter of the law, they are correct. To the spirit of the law, they're violating it. And I know that I've talked to the police about that, and they say that there's nothing they can do about that. We need to have some type of corrective measure to curtail the traffic that's occurring, and it's occurring illegally. Now, 4 times is not a big deal to some people to have to jump out of the way of a car, but as I get older, my reflexes aren't as sharp as they used to be. And one of these days, I won't jump fast enough. please consider taking care of something over there soon, real soon. The frontage road is not a thoroughfare. It's just for the people that live on the frontage road, and I don't know how to get that across to people. I don't know how to get that across to constituents at KinderCare. I'm not even sure I understand how to get it across to the police or even you. I'm just telling you that there's a problem and it needs to be corrected. That can be a simple thing as a sign that says that it's no through traffic. The last ditch effort that I have come up with is to make 87th Street a dead-end street. And then there's no traffic that can go through at all.
So we have a couple of public hearings tonight.
I
Can you
understand.
dis-
I
can
didn't
you
want to take up
discuss
all your time, and there was a number of
Alderperson
things.
Bailey would love to stop by, right?
I have already, we've discussed.
And we'll work with you,
Several
okay?
options.
We'll try
Thank
to
you very
figure it out.
much. I greatly appreciate it, and thank you for your time.
And while I can't comment too much, reckless driving is a huge problem. And it extends well beyond 3 people turning left when they shouldn't. There are some neighborhoods where speeds are in excess of 70, 80, 90 miles an hour. There's all sorts of stuff happening. You can probably go online and watch our police chase people a lot, right? You can watch cars slamming into trees and rolling over. Those are the bad ones, but every day there's something like that going on. So I do sympathize with you. Every single quarter section street in the city, whether 27th, 35th, 43rd, 51st, 60th, 68th, 84th, 92nd, 108th, 124th, 116th, 112th, and all the ones that go north and east and west, every day there's an issue on one of those streets with reckless driving or speeding. Every single one of them. And in the interior neighborhoods near, the cut-throughs now, because there's road construction, the cut-throughs, some neighborhoods, the one west of 76th Street and south of Layton, which can cut off the Cops Corner, I shouldn't tell everybody that. That kind of stuff is happening absolutely everywhere. So we get it. We'll work on trying to fix that. All right. All right. The first, any others? No others. Public hearing on special use permit for GEM X Systems and Office for Professional, Scientific, and Technical Services located at 3380 South 108th Street, Suite 210, submitted by Randall Wagner and Jesus Garcia Contreras. This is to approve a special use permit as well as approve the site plan. Do you want to go through it?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So this, as you mentioned, appeared before Plan Commission last month on the 9th. GEMX occupies a suite in the building. It is a 2-year lease for 2 full-time employees. It is primarily used for office activity. However, they do also assemble iLoop, I believe is how it's pronounced, which is a camera accessory for diamonds or gems. That is used on smart devices such as phone cameras or iPad cameras. Their hours of operation are 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Saturday and Sunday. During the site review, the dumpster enclosure doors were not affixed to the enclosure, and the parking lot is in need of restriping. We have already received a letter from the property owner stating that they will have that fixed by the deadline established by the Plan Commission at their meeting. So both of those issues are set to be addressed very soon. Parking requirements, 32 are required. There are 52 stalls on site. Plan Commission recommended approval on April 9th at the meeting. We have not received any letters of support or letters of objection to date.
Is the owner here this evening, the applicant here? I don't see him. No?
I don't
It's
see him
okay.
either. You gonna ask?
Does anybody like to speak for or against informational purposes concerning this item? Is there anyone that would like to speak for or against informational purposes concerning this item?
Make a motion to close the public hearing.
Motion by Alderperson Caster, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderperson Drzewiecki, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. With regard to approving the resolution for the special use permit as described. I entertain a motion to approve that.
Motion to approve.
By Alderperson Caster, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderperson Drzwicki. Can you call on that?
Alderperson Juzwicki,
Aye.
Alderperson Kastner,
Aye.
Alderperson Sarian.
Aye.
Alderperson Bailey,
Aye.
Item I1B, approve the site plan review for GEMX Systems. Entertain a motion to approve that.
Motion to approve.
By Alderperson Kastner, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderperson Drzwicki. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Moving along to item I2, a public hearing on the ordinance to adopt a land use map amendment to the 2020 City of Greenfield Comprehensive Plan for the property located at 11815 West Morgan from mixed residential to single family. The action being sought is to approve the ordinance to adopt the land use map amendment, as well as approve an ordinance to amend the official Greenfield zoning map by rezoning a portion of the property located at 11815 West Morgan from MFR 3 High Density Multifamily Residential Conservation to R1 Single Family Residential District.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So what is happening here is very procedural in the sense of why there's two separate things going on. They sound very similar, but they have slightly different functions. So the goal is to rezone the single parcel so it is a single zoning district. Currently, the one parcel is zoned both R1 and MFR3. R1 would be single family, MFR3 is multifamily residential. So the goal is to rezone the property as single family residential, which comports with the surrounding neighborhood. It matches how that area ended up developing. However, whenever you do a rezoning, it needs to match with what the land use map says. The land use map is something that is established during the 2020, or was established during the 2020 comprehensive plan that the city adopted. And the current land use map shows it as being mixed residential, which means that we can't rezone the property as single family until we first change the land use map. So once we change the land use map to be single family, then we could rezone or change the current zoning map to all be R1. So that's why there's the two separate steps. So there's the rezoning part, and then there's also the land use map amendment. The rezoning can't happen until the land use map amendment has happened. The Plan Commission did recommend approval on March 12th. Thus far, I have not received any letters of support or objection to date.
Earlier, I asked people if you had the pink slips or the green slips. Does anybody have those? If you can hand those, bring those up to the front up here and just kind of set them on the counter. Somebody will pick them up from you. While we're doing that, I mean, I typically go through the process of what I like to do is I like to go through for information only, the people that do the information only on the thing. In the event there's a question that we can answer. And then I'll go for the speaking in favor or registering in favor. I'll read those names into the record. And then I'll go through the speaking against and registering against. Okay. Yes, that work? Can somebody get me those? So I have one person, and so this makes it easy. Chris Dadka, is that right? You're right there? Okay. 12191 West White Oak Drive, Morgan Oak Subdivision, speaking for information only. And you reduced your comments to writing, which is nice. Regarding the rezoning landfill off 116th and Morgan Avenue, which is this property, it's been several years since we received an update on the status of this old landfill cleanup and development. Could you please provide us with background on any developments over the last several years and the plan over the next few years? Please include projected timelines. I'll answer that first. There are no plans to develop the site whatsoever. The county has sent out an RFP, which is a request for proposals, to develop the site. That goes to most of the developers that are out there. There's a developer sitting here, pretty good one over there, I think. But you guys, I don't know. But it's a request. It's a request for proposals where the developer looks at the site and determines whether they. So there isn't anything. I'm not sure we've been even approached by any other than with just generic questions, right? Does that make sense? Did I answer that question? Are there monitoring wells on this old landfill site? If so, what are the readings as far as acceptable for levels or exceeding acceptable EPA levels? If not, why not? And were there ever monitoring wells on the site? And if so, when did the monitoring stop? I'm not sure that there were monitoring wells on this site,
Yeah,
but
there
are there on the Alice Chalmers site?
Yeah.
There are some on
Last
the,
time was land recycling, Jeff Hall.
yeah.
He monitored them then. Can't hear you. Oh. There are wells on the site, and the last time they were monitored was with Jeff Hall, back 10, 15 years ago.
10 or
that
15,
I know of.
10 or 15 years ago, the city engaged in a pretty, we got some grants from the, I think through the DNR for monitoring the site and doing an environmental survey of the site. It was pretty comprehensive. I'm not sure if anybody has followed up with those wells. I do know that the Milwaukee County, which owns the site that's at issue here, right, they foreclosed on it. Prior to that foreclosure, it was a pretty challenging site to get on. The county probably, in hindsight, with regard to liability and all that stuff, probably shouldn't have foreclosed on this site. The county, as I understand it, is under some DNR orders with regard to providing a cleanup plan, and I don't know what the right words are, but they're supposed to make sure, they're supposed to get an approved plan with regard to what they're going to do with their site, if that makes sense. I'm not aware of any well monitoring that's been going on for 10 years. As I remember the well monitoring, and this is just from memory, there were VOC hits, volatile organic compound hits, but those were closer to 116th Street, near the West Dallas site, and maybe across the road on 116th, but the wells were pretty clean generally, I thought. I don't know.
It was a long
So
report,
you're
I don't
welcome to
remember.
come in and look at what was there before. I do know that the recommendation for the entire site was that it needed to be capped with a thick clay cap, and that there couldn't be basements and those kinds of things. There were certain areas where they couldn't dig and it had to be capped. You can hook up with Gina or Jeff and come and read those rather exciting. There's a lot of stuff there, if that makes sense.
No plans to have the monitors checked again?
So the Milwaukee County owns this property, and it's probably the most contaminated of the properties. Is that fair, Carl?
I would think that is fair.
Milwaukee County has had intervention from the DNR now that there's a responsible owner available. And the county is under an obligation to do something there. What they're going to do, we don't know. I'm not sure that we have the authority to go onto their property and monitor their wells.
That wouldn't be any of the two that are in question now?
So the two that are in question now is the Alice Chalmers dump site. So if you look at that, right, the long rectangle where it says mixed,
The two are actually one site. The actual parcel of land matches the mixed residential, long, narrow one.
so just so everybody understands, with every piece of property, there's two things that are
that.
associated with it, zoning and the comprehensive land use plan. And I think I told this to some people. The comprehensive land use plan kind of says, well, what do you think the city should look like someday, right? And it usually talks in glowing terms about residents should be here and little businesses should be here and that kind of thing, right? Zoning is what controls the property, what you can actually put on there, right? And they're supposed to be this kind of in concert with each other, right? If it says, the city says in the land use plan that it should be residential and it's R1 single family, that works, right? Because they're basically the same kind of thing. The issue with the zoning map here is that currently both of these are zoned differently. So this is single family here and that's multifamily there as far as uses go. What this will look like if it's successful is all of this will be yellow. And all of the brown up there
Will be yellow.
will be yellow. Does that make sense? So, but that entire parcel is the Alice Chalmers, what's known as the Alice Chalmers dump site. Okay? This is owned by Milwaukee County is parkland. That will likely never be changed. This is owned by the city of Greenfield. That's our DPW site, and it's likely that's probably, we would have nowhere else to do that. This area here is actually the answer to a trivia question. What city is completely surrounded by another city? So that's West Dallas that's West Dallas. And they are looking for, there's been some discussion with them where they're contemplating trying to get that developed.
It's not 100%.
It's not 100%, and I would be shocked if they did it, because they don't have any place to go either. This is the city of Greenfield right here? Or is it this?
No, that's that one, yeah.
This
The
one
top-
is
No,
green?
that's the condos,
Oh, sorry, this is Greenfield right here.
yeah.
So the city, just so you know, when we're talking, there's really no objection to this, looking like this. There may not be any objection to this, looking like this. Ultimate.
the county portion? I'm sorry.
The county is, all of this green here is zoned county parkland.
The part you were talking about ownership earlier with the environmental problems and the discussions with the state.
So this is the site that has most of the issues.
And
Okay.
that's county ownership.
The county foreclosed on it, so the county now owns it and is responsible for it.
Okay. Thank you.
For decades, there was some guy in Illinois or something,
Corporation out of Illinois that's defunct.
a corporation out of Illinois that's defunct owned that property historically. And the only thing that really happened on it is somebody associated with that corporation gave somebody permission to go hunting on it, which they weren't really supposed to do, so. Actually, I think it might have helped us find them.
And what's the blue on the map?
This? That's the condos that are down there. And the reality is that this could probably be that someday too. But right now it's zoned R1. And the zoning for the blue, or the land use is, the zoning is PUD.
PUD.
It means planned unit development. That means that the city has more control over every aspect of it, sort of, if that makes sense. In order for that to happen on what we're calling the Alice Chalmers dump site, in order for that to happen, there would be another public hearing like this to change it to PUD, if that were ever to happen. From what I've been told, the costs in that brown area, which is probably the most contaminated, I think, where it says MFR3.
It's probably the most is that I'm not gonna finish the sentence.
It's the most challenging part to the site. Yeah,
It continues past there, but
yeah, so did that kind of answer that question? Yeah,
ideally it'd be a perfect spot for open space of some kind.
yeah, I mean, the
that's my
city
angle.
has expressed, a desire that perhaps it be park space.
The city of Greenfield or?
The city of Greenfield has, yeah. Couple older persons think a dog park would be great there, or something, right? I don't know. Dogs don't have traffic, so, but maybe they do.
But right now, it's looking at recapping versus if somebody would move, if somebody wanted to build, there will be another public hearing to discuss.
So, I mean, after all of this, if in a nutshell, right, there isn't anything planned there. There isn't anything moving forward. We're making it R1 because it's consistent with what she was saying, right? If anybody came along and wanted to put condos in or make a PUD or make some 4-story apartment building, it can't happen unless there's a public hearing and the neighbors are notified. And you would, and the city, and there's a developer here, the city encourages anybody that wants to do something on the property, because we don't like to sit here and, have 400 people in the room screaming at us. We encourage them that we meet with the neighbors first, have neighborhood meetings to explain what they're trying to do. and most developers get an understanding of whether it's gonna work or not, right? If that makes sense, yeah? So if there is going to be development on this property, what developments are planned for the surrounding streets? There is no development planned on this property. Morgan Oaks is currently scheduling for resurfacing of their streets in the year 2026. This was originally scheduled for 2025, but has been pushed back a year. How will this landfill development affect Morgan Oaks subdivision street repair and paving? It shouldn't impact it at all. This will have no impact whatsoever on that. What will have an impact on it is interest rates and costs to do it. Fair? As a side note, the Oak Leaf Trail just off 116th and Morgan to Howard is constantly flooding. The Oak Leaf Trail is a county parks trail. The county has received grant, I think this is the part.
They have received the grant dollars. They're going, doing design work, I believe, at this point, and that should be completed, I think, in fall, and they'll be going out for bids next spring. Am I correct, Jeff?
Yeah, I think that's right.
And then completion by the fall of next year to improve that bike connection on the Oak Leaf so people don't have to transverse on 116th and talk about taking your life into your hands. It's worse there than anywhere.
I would strongly
I've done it.
encourage anybody that uses that to contact their county supervisor and the county parks and ask that it be expedited. Just because the county has said that it's gonna do it this year and maybe do it next year doesn't mean anything historically. So there's a difference, like the Power Line Trail, you know, that's a City of Greenfield trail. We keep track of it. We cut you know, all of that. I can assure you that the people that are sitting up here, if there was the kind of problem that's experienced there and we had the money to do it already, we'd already had it done.
That portion's been flooding for years, and
It's
I was
been,
just over there a couple days ago and had to shoot down 116th, and that's not safe.
no, it's not. It's the county. I would strongly just, yeah. I'll be politically correct for everybody. All right,
I think it's an ex-county employee too that you're talking about.
okay, so we got them mixed here.
These are the
I'm assuming everybody did green and pink and said the same thing. Is that a fair statement? So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to read these off as people that are either registering in favor or speaking in favor. If they say speaking in favor, I'll call you up. So I got an email through the hearings thing from Adele Huff, who I think is here tonight. Is she here? No? There you are. You're hiding in the back? Why back there? What are you doing back there? All right. We are in favor of the above referenced tax key number being rezoned to a single zoning district and the parcel being rezoned to a single family residential. We would be opposed to it being rezoned to a multifamily residential parcel. Thank you, Mark and Adele Huff, 3707 South River Ridge Boulevard. Ed Nunez, 3440 South 120th Street. 3540 South, who is that? There you are, sorry about that. Registering in favor but not speaking. Mike Caston, any related to the senator? No. 12073 West Morgan Oaks Drive, registering in favor but not speaking. Are you registering in favor of the change, right? Paula Caston, should have read hers first, registering in favor but not speaking. Mark Huff, 3707 South River Ridge Boulevard, registering in favor but not speaking. Adele Huff, registering in favor but not speaking. That's a repeat. Larry, that guy, 12261 South Scarlet Oak Court, sorry, registering in favor but not speaking. Gwen,
Now it's your turn.
same one? All right, register in favor but not speaking. Is there anyone else that would like to register either for, against, or for informational purposes concerning this item? Is there anybody that I missed? Is there anyone that would like to speak in favor, against, or for informational purposes that I missed? Any further questions?
Make a motion to close the public hearing.
And a motion to close the, well, up.
Oh,
All right, you have to come up to the mic. You have to,
the mic then.
you have to go up to the mic. Sorry.
I am Ed Nunez, 3540 South 120th Street. I'm just wondering about the dates, when the land use map has to be done first, right? It's going to be R1.
Voted on before the
You
other.
vote on that, that's,
You vote on that first, and then you can do the
and
zoning.
then we do the other one. I'm just
Yeah,
wondering.
it's
is
going to
that-
be like one right after another. So this is effective after publication? So it's not effective tonight? It's like 7 days or something, right?
Yep, a week.
So it takes about a week before it actually becomes the law, if that's a question.
Okay, and when, just for confirmation, where do we see that, or where do we look for that to see that that's been done?
If you look at the minutes and it's been voted on, it'll be done. You can call the clerk's office, our city clerk, just call and ask.
Like
It's more, it'll be done within a week.
a week? from-
Yeah,
that's-
is that
was my
fair?
thought.
A week. It just takes time to,
Yeah, just, so I don't
It's-
look too early, too
that,
late.
right? Okay. Unless you're not looking, then we'll change it. That was a joke. All right. No, so once it becomes what it is, right?
I will make a motion at item I2A, approve the ordinance to adopt the land.
Did we vote on closing the
Close
public?
hearing.
Oh, we haven't.
Motion to close the public hearing, I think was by Kastner. Was there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Alderperson Driswicky. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. I'd entertain a motion to approve the ordinance to adopt a land use map amendment to the 2020 City of Greenfield Comprehensive Plan for the property located at 11815 West Morgan Avenue for mixed residential to single family.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Alderperson Kastner, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderperson Driswicky, would you please call?
Alderperson Juzwicki.
Aye.
Alderperson Kastner.
Aye.
Alderperson Sarian.
Aye.
Alderperson Bailey.
Aye.
Item 2B is entertain a motion to adopt an ordinance or approve an ordinance to amend the official Greenfield zoning map by rezoning a portion of the property located at 11815 West Morgan Avenue from MFR3 High Density Multifamily Residential Conservation to R1 Single Family Residential District. Tax key numbers as indicated and as recommended by approval in the Planning Commission on March 12, 2024.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Alderperson Kastner, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderperson Driswicky, would you call?
Alderperson Juzwicki.
Aye.
Alderperson Kastner.
Aye.
Alderperson Sarian.
Aye.
Alderperson Bailey.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. If you guys all want to leave, if you could all leave at the same time, unless you're entertained by watching a common council meeting, you're certainly welcome to stay. You can watch it on YouTube, I think, too, if you want. But I'll give you just a little bit to, thank you. If you have any questions, please contact Alderperson Kastner.
Usually 8 o'clock in the morning, I'm
Yeah,
available
or
out on the
7.
street.
7 o'clock would be good.
And I walk by their house.
All right. While people are walking out, under J1 and J2, please note we've received letters of resignation from David Podeswa and Paul Liu from the Civil Service Commission. I've reached out to our council with regard to the future of the Civil Service Commission. Other communities have instituted other after Act, post Act 10, other ways to do this. We're looking at different models to potentially, it doesn't meet.
Yeah.
So that's the issue. So just to let you know, but we will be sending appreciation correspondence to both. Both have been with the city for a very, very long time in those capacities, and I want to personally thank them for
So that's
doing.
going to go to legislative?
It's going to our lawyers right now, and they're looking at it. They're going to provide us options, and then it'll go to legislative. It will not be a quick process. Item J3, appointments to various committees and commissions. I would reappoint Nikki Cherrick, is that right, to the Greenfield School District for the Park and Rec Board. I'd entertain a motion to confirm.
Motion to confirm.
Alderperson Kastner, second.
Second.
By Alderperson Sarian, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Item 3A, double little I, confirmation of Quinn Burnett of the Whitnall School District to the Park and Recreation Board.
Yeah, they did appoint him.
Did we already appoint him?
No, the school district did.
Yeah, they did, okay. I'd entertain a motion to confirm
Motion to confirm.
by Alderperson Kastner, second by Alderperson Bailey. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Item 3A, triple little I, one member, I'd reappoint Troy Tronick, or actually, if you make those appointments, I'm sorry. I'd entertain a motion to reappoint Troy Tronick
I make that motion.
by Alderperson Sarian. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderperson Kastner. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Item 3B, put those on the next agenda. Item 4, summons and complaint received from Attorney John D. Monson of Schott, Bublitz, and Engel on behalf of Mr. and Mrs. Druzwicki.
This claim was reported to our legal counsel.
Item 5, claim received from Ariana Bullion.
This claim was referred to the city attorney.
Item 6, various applications for 2024, 2025 operator licenses. Entertain a motion to approve those licenses subject to.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Alderperson Bailey. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderperson Kastner. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Item 7 is approve renewal applications for licensing for various fermented malt beverage, liquor, fermented malt beverage, and liquor combination licenses, pawnbrokers, secondhand article dealers, operator licenses, and entertain a motion for all of the licenses as recommended by our city clerk,
And
subject to the disclaimers of compliance and payment of all delinquent taxes and charges. Entertain a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
By Alderperson Kastner, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderperson Sarian, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Holy Mackerel requests an extension of license premises of the combination Class B beer and liquor license and entertainment license to the Beer Garden, which is as described from June 1st through September 8th. Hours for alcohol being served from noon to 10:30 and entertainment 6 to 10 p.m. at 5401 West Layton. Entertain a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
By Alderperson Kastner, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderperson Druzwicki, all in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Approve application for 2023-2024 combination Class A fermented malt beverage and liquor license for Quick Pantry 6716 LLC for the property located at 6437 West Forest Home. Subject to the conditions of the license, right? And special use, is that the right way? No special use? I'm sorry, you're right, subject to the entertain a motion to approve.
Briefly, Mike, is this something Pam needs to be here for? Is that the old Schweitzer's building, or is this a separate? Just
This is the Schweitzer building, right? Yes, I think.
Yes. Did you look at the plans?
I looked at the plans. And the city council's reviewed the plans.
Okay.
I think we're good.
Okay.
I'd entertain a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Alderperson Kastner, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderperson Druzwicki. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Item 10, approve a application for a temporary Class B retailer's license for Harley's Owner Group for June 8th from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Entertain a motion to approve. This is an indoor event.
Motion to approve.
By Alderperson Kastner, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderperson Sarian, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed, motion carries. Item 11, approve an application for the same group on June 22nd. This is also an indoor event. I'd entertain a motion to approve.
I move for approval.
Motion by Alderperson Sarian, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderperson Druzwicki, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Item 12 is approve the retention of McCarthy Godlewski to represent the city with respect to certain intellectual property matters. We need some intellectual property assistance with regard to trademarks, copyrights, and stuff like that. So I'd enter, as
I move for
recommended by,
approval.
motion by Alderperson Sarian, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Drew Zwicky. All in favor, would you please call?
Alderperson Juzwicki.
Aye.
Alderperson Kastner.
Aye.
Alderperson Sarian.
Aye.
Alderperson Bailey.
Aye.
Item 13 is approve an ordinance amending Section 3.12 and Section 13.2 of the Greenfield Municipal Code relating to cigarette, tobacco, and electronic vaping products. This is essentially adding electronic vaping products to the existing tobacco rules as required by the legislature. I seek a motion to approve the ordinance.
Question? Can we ask a question?
No. Sorry. You can't. Unless the council wishes to entertain that in this case.
A quick question. Sure.
A quick question.
I'm only asking,
You have to go to the mic. I'm sorry, you have to do it the formal way.
It's okay. Rich Bartz, 8700 West Forest Home Avenue. Thank you for letting me ask a question on it. In regards to the cigarette, tobacco, and electronic vaping, you're adding the vaping into the laws for those particular stores, is that correct?
So in a nutshell, if you want to sell cigarettes at a gas station, you have to get a license to do so.
Got it.
Historically, I don't think you needed a license for vaping products. You could just sell them. Now they are a licensed product like cigarettes and other
Okay,
tobacco.
very good. Okay, thank you. I was just wondering
Any other questions quickly?
just how the city stands on the vaping stores that are
So
being
the city
approved
has.
all over the city here.
So I can't remember exactly how many vaping stores are in the city, but the city has
More
new vaping stores are not a permitted use in the city.
Very good. Thank you.
A motion
need a
to
motion.
approve
I move for approval.
by Sarian. Is there a second? Second by Bailey. Would you call?
Alderperson Juzwicki.
Aye.
Alderperson Kastner.
Aye.
Alderperson Sarian.
Aye.
Alderperson Bailey.
Aye.
Item 14, approve an ordinance amending section 13.15, little parent 5, parent little f of the Greenfield Municipal Code relating to allowable identification of for pawnbroker or secondhand article transactions. This is amending the forms of identification that can be used, which had the approval of the city attorney and our police department and input by both. I'd entertain a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
By Alderperson Driswicki, second by Alderperson Bailey. Would you please call?
Alderperson Juzwicki.
Aye.
Alderperson Kastner.
Aye.
Alderperson Sarian.
Aye.
Alderperson Bailey.
Aye.
Item 15 is approve an outdoor special event application for the House of Harley from July 24th through the 28th. This is for their homecoming located at 6221 West Layton Avenue from July 24th through July 28th. Application includes the following combination of licenses and permits: outdoor special event, temporary Class B retailer's license for beer, commercial building, electrical, plumbing, permits, and food. Requesting council approval to allow unaccompanied underage adults on the licensed beer premises pursuant to Wisconsin Statute 125.07, Parent 3, Parent little a 12. Entertain a motion to approve.
I move for approval.
By Alderperson Sarian. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderperson Driswicki. Under discussion, are they closing the road this year?
Yeah. We'll be closing Layton Avenue.
All of it?
Yeah, it's being closed.
And we have received county approval.
Yeah, the county approved the detour.
Okay. This motion was made and seconded. I can't pull that up, so, okay. Would you, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Where was I?
16.
16? Is that where I'm at? Okay.
Yeah.
Item 16, approve a cost-sharing memo of understanding with the city of Milwaukee for the design and construction of a street improvement project on South 43rd Street. This is north of Howard, kind of, right? Where we share a street. We got a grant to do 43rd. Entertain a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
By Alderperson Driswicki, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderperson Bailey. Would you call?
Alderperson Juzwicki.
Aye.
Alderperson Kastner.
Aye.
Alderperson Sarian.
Aye.
Alderperson Bailey.
Aye. When is that project scheduled to begin? 43rd Street?
Construction would be next year.
And the stoplights are shortly thereafter, right?
Yeah, and we work to stop the traffic signals into the same project. So it'll happen concurrently.
So that's a good thing. That's at 43rd and Cold Spring, right? Okay. 17, adopt a resolution verifying review and authorizing submittal of the Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources 2023 Compliance Maintenance Annual Report, also known as CMAR. Entertain a motion to do that.
Motion for approval.
Motion by Alderperson Kastner. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderperson Triswicki. Would you please call?
Alderperson Juzwicki.
Aye.
Alderperson Kastner.
Aye.
Alderperson Sarian.
Aye.
Alderperson Bailey.
Aye.
This is, of course, necessary to get our stormwater discharge permit from the state. So, okay. Item 18, discussion decision regarding agreement with Clem Floats. Entertain a motion to approve.
I move for approval.
Motion by Alderperson Sarian. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderperson Triswicki. All in favor?
Aye.
Oh, wait, you got to call. Sorry, it's an agreement.
Alderperson Juzwicki.
Aye.
Alderperson Kastner.
Aye.
Alderperson Sarian.
Aye.
Alderperson Bailey.
Aye.
Item 19 is discussion decision regarding agreement with Elite Protection Specialists LLC. This is to provide security at the concert on June 15th, an extra precaution. Entertain a motion to approve.
I move for approval.
By Alderperson Sarian, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderperson Triswicki. Would you please call?
Alderperson Juzwicki.
Aye.
Alderperson Kastner.
Aye.
Alderperson Sarian.
Aye.
Alderperson Bailey.
Aye.
Item 20, discussion decision regarding performance agreement with Almighty Vinyl for Friday, August 16th, their Friday, August 16th performance at Conkle Park. Entertain a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
By Alderperson Triswicki, is there a second?
Second.
By Alderperson Kastner, would you please call?
Alderperson Juzwicki.
Aye.
Alderperson Kastner.
Aye.
Alderperson Sarian.
Aye.
Alderperson Bailey.
Aye.
Okay. Items 21 through 27 were approved at the Planning Commission meeting held May 14th, 2024. Would any of you like to take those separately? The first is a CSM for land division at 84 South. The second is a parking lot redesign at Milwaukee Electrical JATC on 60th and Layton. The next one is two covered pavilions at YMCA. The next one is for a shed and light poles at Finn and Feather on Loomis. The next one is for the remodeling of the Quick Market at 6437. The next one is to approve the special use review site landscape and architectural plans for Southwest Auto Body. And the next one is to an ordinance to amend the official Greenfield zoning map by rezoning the property located at 4110 South 76th Street from C4 Regional Business to Plain Unit Development District 4. Entertain a motion to approve all of those items.
I'll make approval to approve those as approved at the Planning Commission.
And potentially subsequently updated. That we've got all that. Is that good? Is that good for you? Yeah? Okay. All right.
Second.
Second by Drzwicki. Would you please call?
Alderperson Juzwicki.
Aye.
Alderperson Kastner.
Aye.
Alderperson Sarian.
Aye.
Alderperson Bailey.
Aye.
Okay, item 28, approve site landscaping and architectural plans for Cold Spring Crossing Apartments and proposed new construction multifamily development to be located at 4200 South 76th Street, submitted by Philip Aiello.
You did better than me yesterday.
And Del Group,
Tuesday.
and Eric Ponto, Enberg Anderson Architects. Entertain a motion to approve.
I move for approval.
Motion by Alderperson Sarian, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderperson Drzwicki. Any discussion, anything?
This has to do with Springwell.
This is the Mandel
This is
development at
Springwell.
Springwell. Yep, yep.
At planning, we discussed the inclusion of a additional lighting at the trailhead going to,
Okay.
and in signage potentially.
These guys seem like such disagreeable sorts. I hope you got it in writing.
They were pretty happy, that's all we talked about.
No. I want to thank them. I mean, throughout the process, some of the things that were critical to the city, like a couple properties that were adjacent to it, working with potential current tenants, things like the fence and trying to get away from the neighborhood. I mean, everything that was critical for the success of this project has been incorporated. I think it's a great design. Still wish the garages were attached, but it'd be nice if you could work that in. We'd change that for you if you did, but it's a great project, and we'll look forward to working with you. So there was a motion and a second to approve. Would you please call?
Alderperson Juzwicki.
Aye.
Alderperson Kastner.
Aye.
Alderperson Sarian.
Aye.
Alderperson Bailey.
Aye.
Aren't you glad you had to wait through the entire common council meeting for an hour and a half just to be approved after 3 minutes? I think.
Could you imagine my neighborhood would do if?
Yeah. Or being placed on the next agenda, yeah, right. Item 29, 30, and 31 are investments and reinvestments, mileage reimbursements, and schedules of disbursements from the Finance Committee. I'd entertain a motion to approve those.
I'll approve.
By Alderperson Bailey, is there a second?
Second.
By Alderperson Sarian, would you please call?
Alderperson Juzwicki.
Aye.
Alderperson Kastner.
Aye.
Alderperson Sarian.
Aye.
Alderperson Bailey.
Aye.
The motion carries to approve 29, 30, and 31. Items for future agenda, I can't think of any right now. Can anybody? Item L, entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Did you hear it?
It was Andrew Juzwicki and Bruce Bailey. That's what I have.
Andrew Bailey, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. I didn't hear the first one. Okay.